Did you know that China is adding wind and solar energy at a pace equal to 5 large nuclear power plants every week? While other countries are still dealing with economic and political challenges, China is going all in on renewable energy. According to a report from the Sydney-based think tank Climate Energy Finance, China is installing renewables so quickly that it will hit its end of 2030 target by this year, 6.5 years ahead of schedule. They're adding at least 10 gigawatts of wind and solar capacity every 2 weeks. But that's not all. Even though China is already leading in renewable energy, the country is solidifying its position as the global leader in this space. With 180 gigawatts of utility-scale solar and 159 gigawatts of wind power currently under construction, China's total is nearly double that of the rest of the world combined, which is enough to power all of South Korea, according to new data from Global Energy Monitor. In 2023 alone, China added almost twice as much utility-scale solar and wind capacity as in any previous year. Between March 2023 and March 2024, China installed more solar than it had in the previous 3 years combined, and more than the rest of the world combined for 2023. What China has achieved in clean energy is truly remarkable. So why is China doubling down on clean energy? And can they reach their carbon neutral goal by 2060? We'll dive into all of that in this video. But before we get started, make sure to subscribe to our channel to show your support. Why China doubles down on green tech and the energy transition. Earlier this year, China's Premier Li Qiang announced that the country would speed up investments in clean energy projects. The idea is that a new trio of industries, solar panels, electric vehicles, and lithium batteries, will take over as the drivers of economic growth, replacing the old trio of clothing, furniture, and appliances. In 2023, clean energy brought a record 11.4 trillion yuan into China's economy, making it the biggest contributor to investment growth and taking a larger share of economic growth than any other sector. Clean energy was also the top contributor to China's overall economic growth, accounting for about 40% of the year-on-year GDP increase across all sectors. When you include the value of goods and services, the clean energy sector added an estimated 11.4 trillion yuan to China's economy in 2023, which is a 30% increase from the previous year. This means that clean energy made up 9.0% of China's GDP in 2023, up from 7.2% in 2022. Without the boost from clean energy sectors, China's GDP would have only grown by 3.0%, instead of the 5.2% actually recorded. This surge in clean energy investment comes as China's real estate sector shrank for the second year in a row. This shift is making the clean energy industry a key part of not just China's energy and climate goals, but also its broader economic and industrial policies. The fact that clean energy played such a big role in boosting growth in 2023 means that this industry is now crucial to China's overall economic development. Besides being a major economic driver, focusing on clean energy will also help China reach its carbon neutrality goal by 2060. That's why China is putting so much into the green industry. Green energy technology may become the next trade battleground. The global shift to clean energy is in full swing, with countries and companies on board. According to the International Energy Agency, renewable energy capacity jumped by nearly 50% in 2023, reaching 507 gigawatts, the fastest growth in 2 decades. The European Union, the United States, and Brazil set records for renewable energy installations, but China led the way by adding as much solar power in 2023 as the entire world did in 2022, and boosting its wind capacity by 66% year on year. China's decision to ramp up its spending could speed up this massive shift even more, helping to meet long-term climate goals by reducing fossil fuel use sooner and cutting down greenhouse gas emissions. It also shows that targeted industrial policies are actually helping, not hindering, the move to decarbonization. When US President Joe Biden passed the $800 billion Inflation Reduction Act, which includes $391 billion for energy and climate spending and the $1.2 trillion bipartisan infrastructure law, it marked the beginning of a new era of industrial policy. This move pushed the EU to roll out its own green subsidies, and now China is addressing its economic challenges by pouring even more resources into decarbonization. However, an increase in affordable green products from China, a likely result of its investment in emerging technologies, won't make it to the US due to its focus on industrial policy. The US has already imposed tariffs on key Chinese imports, and with the IRA and BIL funneling huge amounts into domestic clean energy manufacturing, the Biden administration is considering new protectionist measures to keep China from undercutting the US market. This situation is frustrating for free trade advocates, as it means cheap Chinese solar panels, electric vehicles, and batteries won't be available in America anytime soon. If Donald Trump wins in November, things could get even tougher, as he has proposed a 60% tariff on all Chinese imports. On top of that, the future of Southeast Asia's booming solar industry, which is the second largest producer of panels after China, is uncertain, as the US is expected to impose heavy tariffs on the region. Chinese companies that set up factories there over the last decade are now being accused of dodging US import duties on their home market. 4 Southeast Asian countries, Malaysia, Vietnam, Thailand, and Cambodia, make up over 40% of solar module production capacity outside China. The US, taking a tougher stance against Beijing ahead of its presidential election in November, could not only hurt Southeast Asian production, but also impact Washington's decarbonization efforts, as over 3/4 of its solar product imports came from this region last year. To wrap things up, China's massive investment in clean technology manufacturing and exports shows that it has a huge stake in the success of clean energy worldwide and in building up export markets. However, countries like the United States, Canada, and the European Union aren't too happy about the subsidies Beijing is giving to develop its green industries, arguing that these grants are distorting fair competition. It's clear that China will keep investing and dominating the supply chain in the clean energy sector, but will Western countries like the US and Europe just sit back and let China continue to lead in the green energy industry? Or will they raise tariffs and try to slow down China's path to a clean energy transition? We'd love to hear your thoughts, so drop a comment below. If you enjoyed this video, hit the like button and don't forget to subscribe to our channel to show your support.